Welcome to Literacy Pittsburgh. Thank you for your interest in volunteering to support adult learners in our community. My name is Hannah Gerbyshept. I'm the Director of Volunteer and Community Programs at Literacy Pittsburgh. I lead a great team of staff dedicated to supporting you, our volunteers. Volunteers are the core of our program. As a volunteer tutor or classroom aide, you will see firsthand the impact of your actions. Your gifts of time, encouragement, and compassion will help our students make profound changes in their lives. This brief video is your first step on the path of becoming a literacy volunteer. It has 3 parts. We will introduce you to Literacy Pittsburgh, who we are, what we do, and who we serve. Next, we will talk about literacy, what it means, and how it impacts lives. Finally, we will give an overview on volunteering with Literacy Pittsburgh, different ways to volunteer, the expectations and rewards of volunteering, and the training and support you will receive. At the conclusion, you will be guided through next steps in the training process. But before I tell you about who we are, I'd love for you to hear from one of our students about how getting her GED changed her life.
Going back and getting the GED, taking the classes, getting the tutoring, getting the help so that we can have more, right?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, one of the things is it helps me career-wise because it makes me more sociable. When you're feeling down about something, it doesn't matter what it is. You're usually going to hang around people that you feel like are in the same boat as you or kind of you can relate to. So a lot of people that I hung around also didn't have GEDs, also didn't have education either. And that was more comfortable for me because I didn't have to really talk about certain things or feel left out of certain conversations. And now I could just, I just place myself where I belong. I belong in those spaces and I know that now. So I place myself there. I don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't be over there. And I really just put myself out there because now I know what I can do. Even bigger than getting my GED, but just because that one step made me feel like I can do anything. Honestly, I feel confident in almost everything I do now because I worked really, really, really hard. I kept failing. I was like Kevin Hart off Night School. I just kept coming in like I failed, but I was just going right back and just taking it again, and it really boosted my confidence so much that I got like it feels like a long time ago where I was feeling down and out because now I'm just out there.
What is Literacy Pittsburgh? Formerly known as the Greater Pittsburgh Literacy Council, we help adults in Allegheny and Beaver counties gain skills vital to grow as workers, parents, and neighbors. What is Literacy Pittsburgh? Formerly known as the Greater Pittsburgh Literacy Council, we help adults in Allegheny and Beaver counties gain skills vital to grow as workers, parents, and neighbors. We have been serving the Greater Pittsburgh community for over 40 years. Our mission is better lives through learning. Our vision is a more inclusive and productive community driven by access to education. The adult education we offer falls into 2 main categories. Adult Basic Education, or ABE, which is part of our college and career readiness programming, and English Language Learning, or ELL, part of a larger program of immigrant and refugee support. Adult Basic Education students are largely American-born and want to build their skills in reading, writing, and/or math. They may be trying to pass the GED exam to get their high school equivalency diploma, or they may want to get into a trade program or college so they can get a better job. English language learners are immigrants or refugees who have moved to the Pittsburgh region in search of a better life. They need to learn English language and American culture so they can more fully participate in their new community. Some may have a goal of obtaining U.S. citizenship. Some may have studied some English in their home country, but struggle with communicating with native speakers. As English language learners advance their skills, some may cross over to our adult basic education program to further refine their reading and writing skills. What all adult learners have in common is that they come to us for a reason. Unlike school-age children, they are not required to be here. They have a need. They have a goal. Our mission is to provide the learning that will help them achieve their goals. That does not mean there are not standards for adult education. Like the K-12 Common Core curriculum, there are skills that have been identified as essential for adults to function in today's complex society. Skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and communicating clearly in writing and speech. We use textbooks and lessons aligned to these standards so adult learners can improve these skills as they work towards their individual goals. So, who are our students? Here's a closer look. Note the similarities between the adult basic education and English language learning populations. In both groups, the majority of students fall in the 25 to 44 age range. This means that they are busy, active adults. They have families. Many have jobs or are looking for jobs, and some have more than one job. They are making space in their busy lives for learning. Also, both groups tend to have more female students than male. There are a number of reasons for this, but the numbers have remained fairly stable over time. The important thing to keep in mind about adult learners is that they are diverse. Students come from all walks of life, with a wide range of educational backgrounds and experiences. As adults, they bring a wealth of interest and knowledge to the learning setting. Unlike elementary school students, they have life experience that you can build upon in your teaching. Research shows that literacy improves faster when learners are able to connect new learning to existing knowledge frameworks, engage their interests, build on what they know. Adult learners may be more or less motivated to learn depending on life circumstances at any given time. Yes, they come to us for a reason. Yes, they are here by choice. They also have complicated lives with various issues that can get in the way of learning. They need a lot of encouragement to keep going. Celebrate small successes. Take stock of how far they've come. They want to learn to solve problems and achieve concrete goals. This is not learning for learning's sake. We may be drawn to literacy volunteering out of a love of reading, while the learner's need might be to fill out forms for work or pass a test. We are here to help them better their lives as they define it. So, let's talk about literacy. There's always a great need for literacy volunteers. Because you are here, there is no doubt you are aware of this need, but it still bears repeating. Education provides opportunity and prosperity for families. Working with adult learners is highly satisfying. You will see them make progress. But research has shown that the greatest impact of adult education is on the next generation. Education allows parents to get jobs with family-sustaining wages. It allows them to become more involved in their children's education. It allows them to become role models for their children. So, know that the work that you do will have an impact even beyond what you can see. Listen to one tutor talk about her proudest moment.
What makes me really proud is the fact that 3 of my students have gained enough confidence and competency that they've gone out on their own and gotten jobs. It's one of those good news, bad news kinds of things, because I hated to see those students go. And another student, a Japanese woman with children in school here, had been hesitant to interact with the school program, but by the time we got through maybe a semester, she was brave enough to volunteer as a homeroom helper and was excited to be helping with the parties and all in her daughter's classroom. So those are the kinds of things that make it all worthwhile.
This is what we mean by literacy. It is not just the ability to read and write, but to participate in everyday life. It is not simply taking in information, but being able to produce and create. It is not up or down, literate or non-literate, but involves a continuum and a constellation of skills that impact how an individual can achieve goals, develop their potential, and engage in life in their community. On an individual level, those with literacy skills experience lower unemployment, higher wages, better health outcomes, and fewer struggles with money management and generational poverty. On a community level, higher literacy levels results in greater civic participation, a more skilled workforce, lower rates of poverty and incarceration, and stronger educational outcomes among children. Thus, volunteers play an important role not only in bettering the lives of individual adults, but in making a significant contribution to the health of the community. So, how can you volunteer? Adults who come to us choose to receive instruction in one of two ways. We offer classes through our Beaver office and our downtown center, with over 10 staff instructors teaching either virtually or in person. We also have tutoring available for students who are unable to attend class or who may benefit from the additional support that one-on-one or small group learning can provide. Both of these options rely on the help of volunteers. Nearly all of our staff instructors receive support from a classroom aide, and almost half of our students receive instruction from volunteer tutors. We couldn't accomplish our mission without you. There are two ways to volunteer. Here is what each of these roles entails. Classroom aides work closely with instructors to assist with learning as needed. You may lead a breakout room discussion on Zoom, or provide extra help to an individual student in a classroom setting. The number of weekly hours may vary, though a commitment of at least 3 months is preferred. Classroom aides are not required to have a 4-year degree. Volunteer tutors are required by the Pennsylvania Department of Education to have a 4-year degree. Tutors meet with their student twice a week for 2 hours each time, and we ask that you commit to working with a learner for at least 6 months from the time you are matched. All volunteers receive free training, materials, ongoing support from your instructor or program coordinator, and opportunities for professional development and networking with other volunteers. Do you need special skills to volunteer? First, be reassured. You do not need teaching experience to be a successful volunteer. If you do, that's great. But our volunteers come from all walks of life, as do our students. You also do not need to speak a foreign language to teach English. You are an English speaker, and learners are here to speak and practice English. What you do need is patience, empathy, and a positive, encouraging attitude. A sense of humor helps as well. And finally, you need some tools in your toolkit that our volunteer training will provide. The next step is to sign up for the introductory training. This 2-hour workshop is required of all volunteers. It will introduce you to working with adult learners. When you finish this video, scroll down on the web page screen and you will see a schedule of upcoming trainings and a link to our volunteer application, which includes training registration. Please note, volunteer tutors will be asked to provide proof of a 4-year degree. An unofficial transcript or a photo of your diploma is fine. You can upload it with your registration, or you can submit it later. Classroom aides are not required to submit a degree. The next step is to sign up for the introductory training. This 2-hour workshop is required of all volunteers. It will introduce you to working with adult learners. When you finish this video, scroll down on the web page screen and you will see a schedule of upcoming trainings and a link to the volunteer application, which includes training registration. Note, volunteer tutors will be asked to provide proof of a 4-year degree. An unofficial transcript or a photo of your diploma is fine. You can upload it to your registration or submit it later. Classroom aides are not required to submit a 4-year degree. During the introductory training, you will choose whether you want to volunteer as a tutor or a classroom aide. You will also indicate your preference for adult basic education or English language learning. You will then attend an additional 3-hour training specific to your choice. Upon completion of the Part 2 training, classroom aides will be assigned to an instructor, and tutors will be assigned to an area program coordinator based on their geographic location. That person will be your source of ongoing support moving forward. We will describe this process more fully in the introductory training. We will let one of our students have the final word. This quote is from Christina, whom you can meet on our website in the student section, which features welcome videos to potential students in multiple languages. Thank you for watching this video. You have completed your first step in becoming a Literacy Pittsburgh volunteer. Please feel free to contact our training coordinator, Roberta Hatcher, with any questions you may have. Thank you again for helping us create better lives through learning.